What if I told you that the secret to running faster has nothing to do with expensive running shoes or fancy training programs? What if everything you thought you knew about speed was actually holding you back? In the next few minutes, you're about to discover 5 scientifically backed habits that elite runners use to shatter their personal records. And the last one is so counterintuitive that it might completely change the way you think about running forever. You won't believe what happens when you implement habit number 3. But before we dive into these game-changing secrets, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, smash the like button if you're ready to transform your running, and drop a comment telling me what your current running goal is. Trust me, you'll want to save this video, because what you're about to learn could be the difference between staying stuck at your current pace and breaking through to speeds you never thought possible. Welcome to a journey that will revolutionize your running in 2026. I'm thrilled you're here because today we're not just talking about running faster, we're talking about unlocking a version of yourself that you didn't know existed. This isn't about quick fixes or gimmicks. This is about real, sustainable habits that will compound over time and make you not just a faster runner, but a smarter, more resilient athlete. Prepare to discover methods that Olympic coaches use with their athletes, techniques backed by sports science research, and practices that have helped everyday runners just like you slash minutes off their race times. And hey, before we get started, I want to know where you're watching from. Drop a comment right now telling me your city or country. Are you running through the streets of New York, the trails of Brazil, the parks of London, or somewhere else entirely? I love seeing our global running community come together. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button because we post new running content every single week that will help you become the runner you've always wanted to be. Let's jump straight into habit number 1. And this one might surprise you because it goes against what most beginner runners believe. The first habit is running slower to run faster. Yes, you heard that right, slower. Here's what happens when you implement this counterintuitive approach. Most recreational runners make the critical mistake of running every single workout at the same moderate to hard pace. They think that pushing hard every day will make them faster. But what actually happens is they end up in no man's land, too fast to build aerobic capacity and too slow to get the benefits of speed work. Elite runners know something different. They understand that roughly 80% of their training should be done at an easy conversational pace. This easy running builds your aerobic base, increases mitochondrial density in your muscle cells, enhances capillary development, and teaches your body to burn fat as fuel more efficiently. When you slow down your easy runs, you're able to handle higher volume without overtaxing your system. You recover better between workouts. You reduce injury risk dramatically. And here's the kicker. When it comes time for those hard workouts and races, you have fresh legs and a robust aerobic engine that allows you to run significantly faster than you ever could when you were grinding yourself into the ground every single day. The science is clear on this. Studies have shown that runners who polarize their training, going very easy on easy days and very hard on hard days, improve more than those who run everything at a medium effort. So if you want to run faster in 2026, paradoxically, you need to slow down most of your runs. Start tomorrow. On your next easy run, slow down to a pace where you could hold a full conversation. It might feel uncomfortably slow at first. Your ego might resist. But trust the process. Give it 6 to 8 weeks and watch what happens to your race times. Now pause for a second and think with me. When was the last time you actually ran slow enough to have a conversation? If you're like most runners, you can't remember. We get caught up in the numbers on our watches, comparing ourselves to others on social media, feeling like we're not working hard enough unless we're suffering. But what if I told you that suffering less during your easy runs will actually lead to running faster when it counts? Take a moment and comment below. Are you guilty of running too hard on your easy days? Write yes or no in the comments. I want to see how many of you are making this mistake. And while you're down there, tell me what pace you typically run your easy runs. Let's create a conversation here. Moving on to habit number 2, and this is where things get really interesting. Strength training. Not just any strength training, but specific resistance work that directly translates to running performance. Here's what most runners don't realize. Running is a single-leg activity. Every stride, you're launching yourself forward and absorbing impact on one leg at a time. If you're not training that single-leg strength, stability, and power, you're leaving massive performance gains on the table. The best runners in the world dedicate time 2 to 3 times per week to strength work. They're doing exercises like single-leg deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, step-ups, calf raises, and plyometric drills like box jumps and bounding. Why does this matter so much? Because strength training does several critical things for runners. First, it improves running economy, which is essentially how efficiently you use oxygen at a given pace. Better economy means you can run the same pace with less effort or run faster at the same effort. Second, it bulletproofs your body against injury. Stronger muscles, tendons, and connective tissue can handle the repetitive impact of running much better than weak tissues. Third, it increases your power output. When you have more strength, you can generate more force with each foot strike, propelling yourself forward with greater speed. And finally, it addresses muscle imbalances and weaknesses that develop from the repetitive nature of running. Here's the practical application. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. 2 or 3 sessions of 30 to 40 minutes per week is enough. Focus on compound movements that work multiple muscle groups. Prioritize single-leg exercises. Don't neglect your core and upper body because a strong core provides stability and power transfer, and strong arms help drive your legs. And time your strength sessions strategically. Do them after easy runs or on separate days from your hard running workouts so you're not compromising either session. If you implement this habit consistently in 2026, you'll be shocked at how much more powerful and resilient you feel as a runner. Let me ask you something important right now. How many of you are currently doing strength training for running? Comment below and tell me, do you strength train regularly, occasionally, or never? And here's another question. What's your biggest barrier to strength training? Is it time, knowledge, access to equipment, or motivation? Drop your answer in the comments because I want to understand what's holding you back. If enough of you say the same thing, maybe I'll create a detailed video addressing that specific barrier. Also, if you're enjoying this content so far, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm show this to more runners who need this information. Habit number 3 is going to blow your mind because it has nothing to do with your legs. It's about your breathing, specifically nasal breathing during easy runs. Stay with me here because this sounds weird, but the EA science is fascinating. When you breathe exclusively through your nose during easy-paced runs, several beneficial adaptations occur. First, nasal breathing naturally limits your intensity. If you can't breathe through your nose, you're running too hard for an easy day. It's a built-in governor that prevents you from making the mistake we talked about in habit number 1. Second, nasal breathing increases carbon dioxide tolerance. This might sound bad, but it's actually fantastic for performance. Higher CO2 tolerance improves oxygen delivery to your muscles because of something called the Bohr effect, where CO2 helps release oxygen from hemoglobin. Third, nasal breathing activates your diaphragm more effectively and promotes better breathing mechanics overall. Fourth, it produces nitric oxide, a molecule that has vasodilatory effects, meaning it helps blood vessels expand and improves circulation. And fifth, it strengthens your respiratory muscles over time, giving you more breathing capacity when you really need it during hard efforts. Now, I'm not saying you should nasal breathe during races or hard workouts. That would be counterproductive. But during your easy runs, making the conscious effort to breathe only through your nose can be a game changer. You'll run at the right effort level automatically. You'll build better breathing mechanics. And over time, you'll notice that your breathing during hard efforts feels more controlled and efficient. Try this on your next easy run. Tape your mouth shut if you need to, or just make a conscious effort to keep your mouth closed. You might need to slow down significantly at first, and that's okay. That's the point. You're training your aerobic system and your breathing apparatus simultaneously. Give it a few weeks and you'll adapt. This is one of those habits that seems too simple to be effective, but the runners who try it consistently report dramatic improvements in how they feel during runs and races. Okay, now think with me for a moment. Have you ever paid attention to how you breathe while running? Most of us never think about it. We just gasp for air however we can. But what if something as simple as changing your breathing pattern could unlock better performance? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Comment below and tell me, do you typically breathe through your mouth, your nose, or both when you run? And have you ever tried nasal breathing? I'm curious to see what percentage of you have even considered this. Also, let me know what you're thinking about the video so far. Are these habits surprising you? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Habit number 4 is all about consistency over intensity. This is the habit that separates the runners who make long-term progress from those who yo-yo between periods of hard training and complete inactivity. The key is to show up every single week, even when you don't feel like it, even when life gets busy, even when motivation is low. But here's the nuance that most people miss. Consistency doesn't mean running the same amount every week no matter what. It means having a sustainable baseline that you can maintain through all of life's ups and downs. For most people, this means establishing a minimum viable routine. Maybe that's running 3 times per week for 30 minutes each. Maybe it's 4 times per week for 20 minutes. Whatever it is, it should be something you can do even during your busiest, most stressful weeks. The magic of consistency is that it allows adaptations to compound. Your body doesn't get better from individual workouts. It gets better from the cumulative stress of many workouts over time, followed by recovery. When you're inconsistent, you're constantly starting over. You build a little fitness, then lose it during time off, then build it again. It's exhausting and demoralizing. But when you're consistent, even if your baseline is modest, you build and build and build. 6 months of consistent running will always beat 6 months of sporadic hard training separated by long breaks. Always. Here's how to implement this habit. First, be realistic about what you can maintain given your life circumstances. Don't commit to 7 days a week if you know that's not sustainable. Second, schedule your runs like important appointments. Put them in your calendar and treat them as non-negotiable. Third, have a backup plan for when life interferes. If you can't do your full workout, do a shortened version. Something is always better than nothing. Fourth, track your consistency. Use a simple calendar or app where you mark each day you run. Seeing a streak build is incredibly motivating. And fifth, focus on the process, not just outcomes. Celebrate the fact that you're showing up, regardless of how fast or far you run on any given day. If you master consistency in 2026, you'll look back at the end of the year amazed at how much you've improved simply by showing up. Now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to consistency? Is it motivation, time management, injury, fatigue, or something else? Write it in the comments because I guarantee you're not alone. Other runners are facing the same struggles, and sometimes just knowing that helps. And while you're at it, tell me, what's the longest running streak you've ever maintained? Let's inspire each other with our commitment to this sport we love. Finally, we arrive at habit. Number 5, the one that might be the most important of all, and it's something that most runners completely overlook. Sleep. High quality, sufficient sleep. This is where adaptation happens. This is where your body rebuilds stronger. This is where your nervous system recovers. This is where performance gains are consolidated. You can do everything else right, nail your training, eat perfectly, strength train religiously, but if you're not sleeping enough, you're sabotaging all of it. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which is critical for tissue repair and muscle building. During REM sleep, your brain consolidates motor learning and skills. Throughout all sleep stages, your immune system strengthens, inflammation decreases, and energy stores are replenished. Elite athletes know this. They prioritize sleep above almost everything else. Many professional runners sleep 9 to 10 hours per night, plus naps. They understand that sleep is not a luxury, it's a performance-enhancing tool. For the rest of us with jobs and families and responsibilities, 9 or 10 hours might not be realistic, but we can still prioritize sleep within our constraints. Here's what this looks like practically. First, aim for at least 7 to 8 hours per night consistently. That means if you need to wake up at 6 a.m., you should be asleep by 10 or 10:30 p.m., not just in bed, actually asleep. Second, maintain a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Your circadian rhythm thrives on consistency. Third, create an optimal sleep environment. Dark room. Cool temperature around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, quiet or white noise, comfortable bedding. Fourth, establish a wind-down routine. 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Dim the lights. Avoid screens. Do relaxing activities like reading or stretching or meditation. Fifth, be strategic about caffeine and alcohol. Cut off caffeine at least 8 hours before bed and understand that while alcohol might make you feel sleepy, it significantly disrupts sleep quality. And sixth, If you're training hard, consider naps as a supplemental recovery tool. Even 20 minutes can make a difference. When you prioritize sleep, everything else gets better. Your energy during runs improves, your mood is better, your motivation increases, your risk of injury decreases, your immune system functions better so you get sick less often. You make better decisions about training and nutrition. Sleep is truly the foundation upon which all other performance habits rest. If you only implement one habit from this video, make it this one. Commit to better sleep in 2026 and watch how it transforms not just your running, but your entire life. So there you have it. 5 real habits that will make you run faster in 2026. Run slower on easy days to build a massive aerobic base. Incorporate strength training to become more powerful and resilient. Practice nasal breathing during easy runs to improve your breathing mechanics and keep intensity in check. Prioritize consistency over intensity to allow adaptations to compound over time. And never ever underestimate the power of high-quality sleep. These aren't sexy secrets. They're not hacks or shortcuts. They're fundamental principles that work because they align with how the human body actually adapts to training stress. The runners who implement these habits don't just get a little bit faster. They transform completely. They go from struggling to finish a 5-kilometer race to running half marathons comfortably. They go from injury-prone to bulletproof. They go from dreading runs to craving them. And it all starts with a decision to commit to these simple but powerful habits. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. Running faster isn't really about the speed. It's about becoming the type of person who does hard things, who commits to a process, who shows up even when it's difficult, who trusts in delayed gratification, who takes care of their body, and who never stops learning and improving. When you develop these 5 habits, you're not just becoming a faster runner, you're becoming a better version of yourself. And that's what makes this journey so worthwhile. So here's what I want you to do right now. First, choose one of these 5 habits to focus on this week. Just one. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick the one that resonates most, or the one you know will make the biggest difference for you. Second, drop a comment below telling me which habit you're choosing and why. I read every comment and I love hearing about your journeys. Third, smash that like button if you found this valuable. It helps other runners discover this content. Fourth, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already because we're building an incredible community of runners here, and I don't want you to miss out on future videos. And finally, click on the video on your screen right now to continue this journey. I've got more content that will help you become the runner you're meant to be. Remember, 2026 is your year. This is when everything changes. This is when you unlock speeds you never thought possible. This is when running transforms from something you do to something you are. I'll see you in the next video. Now get out there and run.